Hi, I'm going to show you some signs that might be useful in the classroom. So this will just be a short video with just some key ones. Some of these we did last year, if you were learning the signs last year, and some might be new. So we talked about that it can be really helpful to let our student know if things are going to be different. So this is the sign for different, with crossed fingers and pull apart. So that warning of anything that's going to be out of the usual routine might be a really helpful sign to use. This can also be, the student might want to use this sign to let you know that they're not really happy with how things are going. They want to do something different. And you can encourage that if they seem a little bit not content with how things are and a little bit out of joint or something. You can say, do you want to do something different? It's a really easy sign to make, so that might be a good sign to use. Another one is on your non-dominant hand, showing first and then. So you can say, oh, first, and it could be different words. You could say, first, we're going to wash our hands, and then we will eat. Or you can do it even if you don't know the signs for what the things are going to be. Or you can say like, oh, so, right now it's playtime, but then it's going to be cleanup time, just to give her a warning that something's going to be changing. Another sign you can do is if you use the 5-minute warning in school, the sign for that is like a little clock on a pedestal, and it kind of goes click for 5 minutes. And you could also do 2 minutes or some other amount. But so in 5 minutes, we're going to stop playing or whatever it is. And that stop sign might be a useful one also, especially in an emergency situation, but also for just saying that we're going to stop doing something. You can also do the all done sign when you're transitioning. So saying like play. So play is the Y's like this and shaking. So you could say playtime is all done, and now it's time to clean up, or whatever. So clean up is that wiping off of your hand. Time is pointing to your watch or where your watch would be. And that terminology for saying it's all done and it's time for this makes it so it's not kind of a power struggle situation where I am decreeing it, but it's just like, oh, it's time. That's what the schedule says. That's what the clock says. It makes it a little less personal, so which can be very helpful. Also, schedule is a sign like you're making a grid on your hand, and that can be useful for saying we're gonna check the schedule, or let's see what the schedule says we're doing next. If you're using a picture schedule, anything like that. Check is like making a little check mark on your hand, which can also be useful. Let's check your schedule, or let's check and see if we can do that. Any of those kind of things, or I don't know if you're checking temperature at the beginning of the day, same sign for that. Another sign might be useful is the sign for school, especially for when you're saying that things are a certain way at school versus how they are at home. So that might, you can use the different sign like, oh, it's a little bit different at school. We need to do such and such because the routines are different. A couple of specific social distancing signs. If you need to stand apart from people, like in a line or something, you can make 2 little people like this and then pull them apart like, oh, remember we need to stand a little further apart, or we need to make that distance, whatever language you're using about that if you're standing. And then if you remember the sign for sit, it's like a little bench and a person sitting. Instead of making the bench, you can make 2 people sitting next to each other and pull them apart, and that would be we need to sit apart, like in circle, or anytime that you're having that distancing. And I'm not sure what the rules are for masks at your school, but if for times you're wearing masks, you can use these 2 fingers to show the mask, or these 2 fingers. So you can talk about wearing a mask, and you can show like putting the mask on, or, oh, we can take it off now because we're eating, that sort of thing. I guess that's probably enough for one lesson. So see if any of those help you this week. So some of those may be familiar, but just to practice them. Okay, I'll see you later.